East and Central Africa, there is no more profitable company than Safaricom. But let me tell you, the telco sector, telecommunication sector is dynamic. It changes by the day. You must be responsive. You cannot just sit back and say we are big, we are giant. Giants have fallen. You need heavy investment continuously. Safaricom is expanding to Ethiopia. It will probably expand to another jurisdiction. If we still hold shares, a lot of shares as government, and the company requires more money, do you know what will happen? They will do what we call in finance capital call. They say, oh, shareholders, we need more money. We need 50 billion. Shareholders, give us the money. The government of Kenya, your percentage out of 50 billion is 20 billion. I am seated there at the treasury, I'm doing my math and calculation, and I'm saying, do I put money in capitation? Do I put money in health? Look, I think you are the one who spoke about it. Health require more funding. People are dying. Lecturers are on strike. Medics are at Upper Hill, Duale's office, shouting on top of their voices. Counties are saying they need more resources. They want to go on strike. The COG chairman has called a press conference. Our staff want. So you're asking, do I put money in schools or do I put money in Safaricom? Do I put money in health or do I put money in Safaricom? The decision will be, I have not enough money. I will only put money in schools. I'll put money for lecturers pay. You Safaricom inaweza ngoja. But the law in business is this. Once a company makes a call and you are not able as a shareholder to meet your part of the bargain, the other partners will come in and will buy your shareholding, whether you like it or not. And by the end of the day, our capital will dilute, whether we are ready for it or not. And we will not even get a shilling. They will take it for free. It has happened with KCB before. Kenya Commercial Bank. Our shares as a government was diluted by other shareholders because we were not able. So if you insist in keeping too huge shareholding in a progressive company like Safaricom, you are risking, my friend. And that is what some of these people are not telling you. Either because they don't know, or even if they know, they want to play politics with something so significant. And don't tell me why hasn't it happened before. If it has not happened before, it does not mean it will not happen. If you are what you are sold, sitting in an office, you must be progressive in thinking. And I've told you it has happened with the KCB. Why can't it happen with Safaricom? And the Safaricom is expanding. They will need more resources to invest. Then we need to release some of the shares so that we don't retain so much share ownership. Secondly, even with the 20%, if this company is going to be run even much better and make more profit, we can get more dividend than we are getting with 35%. When we held 100% of shares in Safaricom, how much dividend were we getting? Ilikuwa kidogo sana. Saa hii with only 35%, we were getting about 16 billion per year. What makes you think we cannot even get 20 billion per year with 20% shareholding if the company is run properly? And we will have also received 240 billion. Let me say 204, because 40 is a dividend in advance. 204, and we are giving up how much per month, per year? We are giving up about 6 billion, 7 billion per year. How many years will it take you to recoup your 204? 30. That you have not even factored the time value of money, because 200 billion received today is not the same 200 billion we will be receiving in tranches kidogo kidogo as we go forward. Now, that is what we are trying to do. And when we get this money, and I will explain to you where this money is going. But before, there are concerns about data protection, about our security as a country. The operations and decisions of security, data protection is not governed by shareholders. Even right now, we only own 35%. But the government still controls. The law of Kenya still dictates how our data is protected. The data protection is protected by law. Data protection is not a function of share ownership where you go and sit and decide, now we can release the data. No, the rules, regulations, the legal framework of the country is what dictates data. Let me ask you about Airtel. Is Airtel not doing the same thing as Safaricom? It's only that Safaricom is bigger. They also have your data. Are your data not protected? Those of us who have Airtel lines. Why is it protected? Yet Airtel is 100% foreign owned. The government has 0 shares in Airtel. The people of Kenya have 0 in Safaricom. It is owned by foreign investors. And it has our data almost the same way Safaricom has our data. So whoever is telling us about that, our data will be exposed. You don't understand how this thing works. The data protection is protected under the Data Protection Act. There is a communication authority. Even when Safaricom participates in the electoral process by relaying the information to Bomas of Kenya, it is not the government shareholder who decides what they should do. It is the law, the regulations, the rules, and the engagement that IEBC has with the company. And we are protecting this company even with this divestiture. The ownership, the management is still going to be Kenyan. It is a Kenyan citizen who is going to be the CEO. The board membership of 2 is going to be maintained. All independent board members will still be Kenyan. So there is nothing we are losing here. Let me now come to a conclusion on how are we going to use this money. The concerns you have is what we are also trying to cure at the national government level. We don't want to get this money and start paying salaries and start paying recurrent expenditure, because that is what has been done before. We are creating a national infrastructure fund, and we are also creating what we call sovereign wealth fund. These 2 funds have a function. The sovereign wealth fund will have a small portion of this, the proceeds of this divestiture and privatization, about 10%, to protect money for the future generation so that our grandchildren don't ask us, where did you take Safaricom? Where did you take KPC? We are leaving some money in sovereign wealth fund for the future. Kenya has not had sovereign wealth fund, yet Botswana has. A country like Norway has sovereign wealth fund which can fund their budget forever. They don't need to tax their people or do anything. They have money that they have loaned to other sovereign states and giving them money. The Eurobonds we are buying, some of them it is money from Norway that we are getting to fund our budget. They have money, we just pay them every year. We are paying them and they are running their affairs without even taxing their people. That is where Kenyans should be. Even if it is not in our generation, we should start it for the next generation. So that 100 years from today, Kenya can be able to run. Don't be selfish. Don't ask yourself, why do we think about 100 years? If our great-grandfathers were never selfish, we would be in a better position today. I don't know whether I'm communicating to anyone. Am I speaking to anyone in the room? Let me convert myself into a preacher. Am I talking to anyone there?